tragedy strikes just as you're getting your foot in the door with the new fort in Varrock with the new quest Murder on the Border, where you begin to celebrate your recent comeuppance. However, before we get into that, a couple of announcements. This month for Prime Gaming, you will receive 3 Umbral chests, so make sure you grab your goodies March 21st. Next, we have some upcoming live streams on the 22nd, Wednesday, 17 game time. We have a Designing RuneScape live stream, asking the question, do JMods even understand the game? Mod Jack discusses the disconnect between the ways players and developers look at RuneScape, and what that means for game design. A couple days later, on March 24th, Friday, also at 17 game time, we'll have the Golden Gnomes. So your votes have been casted in, and you can find out the results this Friday on a live stream on Twitch. With that said, today's main release is a new quest, Murder on the Border, involving, as you would rightfully guess, murder. This is a murder mystery style quest where there are many plausible suspects, and you are tasked to solve the case. Using your new mystery journal, as well as a trusty butler sidekick, you have to get to the bottom of this. You can start the quest by speaking to Aster in the town hall at Fort Forinthry. All you need is to have your fort to tier 1, if you haven't already built it, only requiring 30 construction to complete. Now with today's update, Mod Black Witch has updated some of the older areas of the game graphically with new lighting and other enhancements. I'll cover all of the graphical updates in the patch notes section, but a lot of the areas that were suffering from a lot of the dark environments, largely due to things like shadows, have been illuminated to get it a much better feel and obviously visibility. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video so far, please hit that like button if you're not subscribed yet and you'd like to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Now let's take a look at the patch notes and see what has been updated with today's update. So let's check it out. Looking at those graphical updates, the Temple of Light now lives up to its namesake. The lighting has returned to its former glory. Lighting in the Maradich area has also been improved, revealing clearer progression paths. Adjusted the lighting in the Orthan Moksha ritual site for better visibility. Lighting in the Empyrean Citadel has been rebalanced. The Orthan observation area has been improved, giving a clearer path. Amanishi's Seryu Arena has been brightened to allow the player to see more of this vast and detailed location. Updated the lighting in the Chaos Tunnels. Adjusted the lighting to be less dark in various houses at Yanil. The lighting inside Frankenstrain's castle has been improved. Adjusted the ambient lighting and graphical updated the terrain materials in the Stronghold of Player Safety Dungeon. Lighting in the Edgeville Bank area has been improved. Lighting inside the Dorjish Khan area has been readjusted. Lighting outside of the Rex Matriarch Boss Arena has been adjusted. Fixed some minor graphical issues in Santistan Cathedral and its plaza, such as removing roofs when entering a building. Fixed an issue where the player could clip through textures, and added some of the missing textures. Visually updated waterfalls at Backstorian, Isla Adderleen, Southeast Karamja, and Ashdale Smuggler's Caves. Graphically updated Moya in Dishonor Among Thieves to use her newest model, substituting animations that only worked with her older model with those available from her current rig. Players can no longer see the second floor of the Black Arm Gang hideout from the ground level. Assets from the first floor of the Jolly Boar Inn should no longer be visible when certain remove roof options are selected. And lastly, textures of Ooglog spa pools have been updated so they don't have any gaps between textures and shouldn't cause any flickering effects. Moving on, we got some quest changes. The Desperate Creatures and Sins of the Father quest now appear under the World Guardian sorting category in the quest list. Rename some Talk About Lore Hunter dialogues to Talk About Desperate Creatures. The Curator has moved back to the starting location for Desperate Creatures, north of the Birthorpe Lodestone. A typo in the last cutscene of the Civil War II mini-quest has been fixed. Ariane now has appropriate post-quest dialogue when extinction is complete. Corrected an edge case in the Murder Mystery quest that was preventing a player from retrieving the red, green, blue thread from a window associated with their assigned murderer. Retrieving thread from the Murder Mystery window now checks all inventories, not just backpack and bank. And its feedback messages now use info boxes in case the player's chat window is closed. Reduce the duration of Idris spawns during the Regicide quest to address a player report that Idris was not spawning. Now moving on to some general changes. The Herald's Hat token, Herald's Jacket and Gloves token, Herald's Trousers and Boots token, and Herald's Wand and Orb token can now be traded as intended on the Grand Exchange. Fixed an issue where multiple level up notifications appeared for the same level in Dungeoneering. Players can now interact with the Rune Goldberg machine without having to restart the client. Fixed an issue where favorited animals could be traded. Players can now downgrade more than 4,000 1,348 clues in one go. Players no longer get disconnected when feeding animals at the manor farm under certain circumstances. The delay after using the dive ability has been removed, corrected an issue that blocked the skip tutorial prompt on mobile for some players. The Dwarven Instinct aura will now tick off with time while the player is logged out. Dig site specimen rocks are now easier to click on. Talking to Tolder Wolfgang no longer depletes prayer points to 0. Fixed an issue where winter storage scrolls sometimes dropped items on the ground due to a full bank. Fixed an issue where players could clip through the stairs that led to the prison area inside the Zamorakian Undercity dungeon. Boggoth's loot no longer drops on an inaccessible tile in the Shadow Reef Elite dungeon. Fixed an issue where the accumulated XP wasn't displayed in the rune crafting window. Fixed an issue where the same rune could very rarely have a perfect score in more than one slot in the Rune Goldberg machine minigame. The delay between upgrading Anachronia buildings on mobile devices has been removed. Fixed a misspelled word in Command Center, Tier 3, unlocked in the Construction Skill Guide. The music is now correctly muted when the globally muted and or music options are toggled on when players log back in. And finally, a walkable area around trees west of Garden of Carid has been improved. And that is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below if you want to see last week's video. It'll be on screen now. Looking forward to seeing you there. If not, I'll see you next week with the next release. Anyways, I am out. Aloha.